What's up, Herminators? Hermes here. I know many of you enjoyed my previous video of my Legend Dragon Priest deck, but had little success with it. So today I'm going to show you guys a short video of my revised Dragon Priest deck to fare better in the current meta. The meta right now is more aggressive, and a lot of secret paladins have been showing up to prevent you guys from climbing the ladder effectively. The first card I added to this deck is Shadowward Pain. I love this card 10 times more than Holy Smite. The reason for this is because it removes early aggression just so cleanly, and it bypasses the Divine Shield and automatically removes the early aggression that Paladin puts up with the Divine Shield, like shielded mini-bot. And also you can combo this card with Shrinkmeister. So let's say there's a 4 attack creature on the board, you reduce the attack to 2 attack and automatically remove that creature with Shadowward Pain without any problems. Talking about the Shrinkmeister, I replaced 2 Wild Pyromancers for these 2 cards. The reason for this is because we have so many sticky creatures in our deck that by reducing 2 attack from our opponent's creatures, we can actually do a lot of efficient trading with the Shrinkmeisters alone, while also maintaining our creatures on the board. But that's not all, because we have other synergy with the Shrinkmeister too, such as the Cabal Shadow Priest. Let's say there's a Ysera on the board, we can use Shrinkmeister to reduce Ysera to 2 attack and take it away from our opponent with Cabal Shadow Priest, so we also have that combo with us with the Shrinkmeister. I actually added one of the sisters to this deck, and I prefer Lightbane over Darkbane in this deck. The reason for that is because when we buff up one of the sisters, at least this one gets protected with a Divine Shield. But whenever I buff up Darkbane, it does do a random 3 damage to my enemy, but that random 3 damage can be detrimental to us if it hits the face and not the minion. And we really don't care about the damage to the face because we're not really playing a very aggressive deck, so the damage to the face doesn't really matter. So if it misses the opponent's minions, then it's really detrimental to us because we are losing tempo. That's why I prefer Lightbane over Darkbane. At least Lightbane gets protected by Divine Shield. If you do want to play Darkbane, however, you can remove 1 Dark Cultist for Darkbane, just to try it out and have some fun with the 2 sisters in this deck. The most significant card I added in this deck, which makes this deck 10 times better, is the Mind Control tech. Since there's so many decks in this meta right now that floods the board, such as the Totem Shaman and also the Paladin, they naturally fall into the Mind Control tech's effect because they have no choice but to totem up and to put up Silver Hand Recruits in order to make their board 10 times better than ours. So Mind Control tech is totally viable in this deck. And also, you can punish people for not playing around Mind Control tech like what I'm doing now, since I have 4 creatures on the board, right? I said that I don't like Dragonkin Sorcerer, and I still don't like it, but I have no choice but to play it because for one, I needed a good 4-drop to make the curve more consistent, and I took away a lot of dragons to play a lot of these tech cards in order to fare better in the meta. So Dragonkin Sorcerer is a good card for now, since it synergizes with a lot of our buffs such as Velen Chosen and Power Word Shield. The last card I added into this deck is Vol'jin. The reason why I added Vol'jin instead of Ren is because I took out a lot of dragons in this deck and I might not have enough dragons to synergize with Ren. And if I don't have dragons in my hand for Ren, that card becomes a really useless card in my hand and I just gotta sit there until I'm never going to play it. So Vol'jin has way more consistency than Ren. Both these creatures serve a very similar purpose, but instead Vol'jin, if you want to remove a creature entirely, you have to wait till turn 10 to use Holy Nova with it or Blackwing Corruptor. But Vol'jin in a sense does remove a creature anyway since you're taking its health away, and you can easily trade it in with one of your creatures on board. One card you might be surprised that I'm not playing is Chill Maul. I really believe Holy Nova is better than Chill Maul because Holy Nova does heal my minions, which maintains my creatures on board and keep them healthy, and that's really huge because that allows me to maintain board control. And sometimes Chill Maul doesn't give me that instant AoE that I need to win the game, but Holy Nova does. So in that sense, Holy Nova does feel a bit better in this deck. So these are my changes to the deck. If you guys have any questions, please leave it on the comments below, and I try to answer you guys to the best of my abilities, and sometimes I might not be able to answer them, but I'll still answer them because I love you guys. Anyway, so this is the following matchup is against a Paladin. I don't think this is like an aggro Paladin. I think this is just mid-range, but still Paladin nonetheless. I'm going to commentate on it and show you guys how to play this deck. So this guy does play a Zombie Chow on turn 1. In order to contest against that, I will play the Twilight Well because it's also 1-drop for 2/3, which contests Zombie Chow just so well. And since I have another dragon in my hand, I might as well coin in the second Twilight Well just to put up a lot of board pressure. And usually, paladins don't really have anything that good to contest with this board. They might even play a knife juggler just to contest with it, or just another mini-bot. Mini-bot is a little annoying because it lives twice, even if I trade onto it. But a knife juggler would be even more value for me if he does plan to play it. This was really unexpected. He actually played an Iron Beak Owl against me. This is really bad for him because he might not have another silence to handle with my more threatening creatures like Azira or Vol'jin, and those are really threatening to the Paladin because they can't really easily remove them. So I traded into the Zombie Chow, but I think the Iron Beak Owl would be a better choice. The reason for this is because I know either of those creatures would not trade into my Twilight Whelp, but hit my face instead because they can't really handle this creature. It's way too healthy. But if the Zombie Chow hit face and I trade into the Zombie Chow the next turn, it will heal me back up to 30, so it wouldn't really matter. See, right now the Iron Beak Owl hits me in the face. If that was the Zombie Chow, it would heal me back up to 30. So the Zombie Chow would be a better choice there, but it doesn't really matter, doesn't affect me too much, and I will heal my Twilight Drake Whelp after I trade into the Iron Beak Owl in order to draw a card. Azira is a pretty nice draw here. It means that I do have a late game to look forward to. Right now, he trades into my Twilight Whelp and True Silvers it down. That's really good for him. It was building him up tempo. The 1/3 can't really do much but trade into the Silverhand Recruits. It's turn 4 and I top deck in a Twilight Guardian. That's amazing because I didn't have any cards to play that turn if I didn't draw into the Twilight Guardian. And what's best of all, it really blocks the True Silver Champion. And it protects the girl so it can draw me even more cards. So there's two things he can do here. He can either play Belcher or Consecration. Two are good for me because I can handle Belcher with Shadow Red Pain. Consecration, it allows me to take initiative on board, and he does play Consecration. This is really bad for him because he's wasting two really good cards just on a Twilight Guardian alone. True Silver Champion and Consecration did not get its full value because it's only to 2 creatures and 1 creature stayed alive, so that's pretty bad for him. Just gonna use a Azure Drake and get more card advantage against my opponent. So it's turn 6, there's not really much that the Paladin can do on turn 6, but he does play a True Silver Champion, which is really good for him because it is a tempo gainer and it immediately destroys my Azure Drake. So that's pretty bad for me because I don't really have another creature to play on turn 6, but I did top deck a Twilight Guardian again. So that's a really good card because this looks like the same situation on turn 4 where it blocks out the True Silver Champion. So right now I'm in a pretty good board state, and it's going to be pretty hard for this guy to move my board unless he has another Consecrate, which would really wipe out my whole board, but I don't think he has one because he already played one before. But he does have another True Silver Champion, and there's a couple cards he kept since the beginning of the game. He does play a Knife Juggler, 2 Knife Jugglers, so he's trying to get lucky here, but did not get that lucky. So the knife has to hit my Twilight Guardian for twice. It did not, so my Twilight Guardian is not going down this turn. This is a really good Holy Nova turn. I really like it because it does heal my creature at the same time. It allows me to draw a card. So that's really what I'm going to do because it's too good not to play Holy Nova this turn. And I do get value on drawing a card and also healing myself. Maybe I played a little bit too fast there. I could have played the Wormus Agent instead of healing myself, so that sort of is a misplay. And it might be quite bad for me too because it's my opportunity to develop the board, but I didn't. So this is pretty bad for him here is because he buffed his Pilot Shredder to a 5/4 where I can easily Shadow Word Death it. So this was sort of a misplay, and people really don't respect Shadow Word Death, but it's actually a really strong card and really loses you a lot of tempo. So remember guys, play around Shadow Word Death if you can. So I'm going to play the Wormus Agent here. It is a very sticky creature and can really handle his board. I really want to destroy that Pinside Summoner because it can snowball the Paladin if he draws into something good. Because let's say he draws into Dr. Boom, he can easily fit in another Shielded Minibot or another Eldor or something like that. So it's really not good to leave that card up. So I definitely will trade it and heal my Twilight Guardian. So it plays a Murloc Knight. And I do have Shrink Meister and Cabal Shadow Priest in my hand, so that creature is clearly mine. But this guy's RNG is so good that he got Merc Eye, so it does put a lot more pressure onto the board than expected. And because I really anticipate like a 1/1 Murloc, right? Because, you know, that's only suitable. But I don't know why he traded there because my Wormus Agent can trade into that the next turn, so that was sort of misplay from him because on board I don't really have the damage to represent to beat the Merc Eye. but I will be taking the Murloc Knight and use it as my own, so I got that going for me. So this game is really looking more into my favor now, and I'm really gonna potentially win the game. There's nothing really he can do unless he has Equality Consecrate, so he plays another Murloc Knight. Too bad I can't steal another one. I just need to draw into another Shrinkmeister so I can have 2 Murloc Knights. So he got a pretty good roll with his Murloc Knight Inspire, got the 2/4 and also Argus did, so that's pretty good for him. Okay, so right now I believe I can trade my 3/2 into the Murloc Knight, trade my Northshire into the 3/4, and potentially Velen's Chosen, my Murloc Knight, and Holy Nova to do a 3 damage board wipe. So his board is entirely gone. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So Velen's Chosen my Murloc Knight, and just Holy Nova. This is a complete board wipe. And then I heal myself to get another Murloc, and Murloc Knight! Oh my god, I have 2 Murloc Knights, so I didn't even need a Shrinkmeister or Cabal Shadow Priest to take the Murloc Knight. It's just going to give me one anyways. So this is a pretty stacked board, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to win the game. I won the game with 2 Murloc Knights. That's pretty insane. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys liked the deck. This is going to fare a lot better in the upcoming meta. And if you have any questions, definitely leave a comment below. And if you like the deck, please like the video as well. And also stay tuned for my next video, because I'm gonna tell you guys which card to craft in TGT, and that will be tomorrow. So I'll see you guys on the next video.